Boss, the spinny thing stopped. I'm going down. Hello and welcome back to Combat Patrol Carnage, and it's time for us to try out our Deffkoptas as we hit the finale of issue 48, and we have our scenario Vroom Daka Daka. So we've got a nice little scenario where the orcs are trying to loot some terrain and objective markers, but there's a band of Chaos Space Marines running around as well trying to do the same. So the orcs have called in some air support in the form of a squadron of Deffkoptas. So we're going to try them out in our game for the first time. So before we hit the table and roll our dice, don't forget to of course do all the usual. Like this video if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you're getting on. Are you enjoying the games and the mini scenarios? Let me know which you prefer in the comment section down below, and I'll try to do more of the one that gets the most. If you'd like to see replays of some of the older scenarios, perhaps with new rules added in, also let me know and I'll see if I can work around some. Finally then, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything you need, from adding that awesome elite unit and that HQ character you've been dying for, to adding all the final touches of paint and basing details. They also stock past and present partworks from Hachette, including Combat Patrol, so if you're looking for some extra models to complete your army, check the links in the video description and you can find yourself what you're missing. So check them out, as I said, link in the description, or you can head down to their physical store and you might just find your next hobby project at a bit of a discount. Right, let's head over and see if these Deffkoptas can stay in the air long enough to stop the Chaos Space Marines. Hello, and here we are back with issue 48 for the final time. Bork is back with his boys, the Deffkoptas are ready, and the Chaos Space Marines are their enemies today. We've got the Dark Apostle with his followers, and the Chaos Legionaries. So we've got a little bit of rules for the scenario to read first, so we'll move this lot out of the way, adjust the camera, and dive right on in. Into the magazine we go, past our lore articles. And here we are, scenario 30, Vroom Daka Daka. A small outpost of Chaos Space Marines is cut off from their main force. They must try to survive a ferocious ground and aerial assault from a band of marauding orcs. To play Vroom Daka Daka, set up your battlefield on 2 mats as shown below. Place 4 objective markers where shown, and take it in turns to place a total of 4 terrain cards. The Orc players selects one of their units of 10 boys and a unit of 3 Deffkoptas. The Chaos Space Marine player selects the Dark Apostle with his 2 disciples and 2 units of 5 legionaries. The units are deployed as indicated below, except the Deffkoptas, which are set up in reserve. The Orc player places the unit of boys in their deployment zone, then the Chaos Space Marine player places their units in their deployment zone. Chaos Space Marine player will take the first turn. Neither player can take any enhancements or secondary objectives or use faction abilities or stratagems. At the end of each player's command phase, players score victory points as follows. If they control an objective marker, they score 5 points. If they control more than their opponent, they score an additional 5. At the end of the 5th battle round, the player with the most victory points is the winner. If both players have an equal number of victory points, the game is a draw. So using mats 1 and 2, we've got the Orc deployment zone in one corner, big zone for the Chaos Space Marines in another corner, and 4 objectives scattered across the battlefield. I would have thought 3 would have been there, so it would have been sort of like a mirror, or at least an opposite reflection sort of thing. But yeah, pretty cool. So we've got plans to go and get objectives early if we can. So we got a reminder here of Deep Strike. So in this game, the Deffkoptas are set up in reserve. The Orc player can deploy them onto the battlefield during the reinforcement step of the movement phase from their second turn onwards. When they are deployed in this way, the Deffkoptas must be set up 9 inches away from all enemy units. Flying reminder. In this example, the Deffkoptas have made a normal move over the Chaos Space Marines to reach the objective marker behind them, ending the move outside the Legionaries' engagement range. Since they have made a normal move and not a charge move, the Deffkoptas could not have ended their move within engagement range. So we've got our victory speech, which we'll come back to in a minute, but we do have the option to swap out. So you can always customize this scenario to see your orcs fare against different opponents. Both players should help to decide which enemies to use that both have fun and learn more about their units. To help build a fun and engaging scenario, you can look at swapping out equivalent enemy units. So if you're a champion, you can swap out the Dark Apostle for the Tyranid Prime, or even the Terminator Captain. And for troops, so in this example, the Legionaries could be swapped out for Termagants, or any other of the Combat Patrol infantry units you have. Alright then, let's set up the battlefield and we'll get on and play Vroom Dakka Dakka. So here we are, all deployed, ready to play Vroom Dakka Dakka. So the Orc boys as close as they can to get to objective number 2 there. Objective 4 down this corner, objective 1 up the top. And the Dark Apostle is sitting and holding objective 3 while he directs the rest of his followers to go after the other objectives as best they can. So Chaos Space Marines get the first turn. So here we go with Chaos Space Marine turn 1. So end of the command phase, we scored 5 points because we held 1 objective. And I've advanced to both squads. Sadly, this squad only rolled a 1. This squad, on the other hand, rolled a 6 and managed to run 12 up the board. So yeah, they're already ready to take control of a secondary objective, score more points. But now onto the Orcs' turn, and there's not much for them to do. They're going to simply move forward. They won't score any points this turn as they're not within range of the objective, but they'll get there for future turns. Just remember to need data cards so I can remember what I'm doing even. So everything is a bit out of range at the moment, so we can go on to Chaos Space Marines turn 2. So we scored 10 points as we held an objective and we held more than the opponent. And now we are in a position. So this squad finally got a 6 for advance. They've managed to run up 12. Meaning they should be able to get within range of that objective with just a normal move next turn. This squad has moved out so they can get all their guns in range to bear. So now we're going to do 8 bolt gunner shots. Which hit on 3s. Half of them. Oh dear, not very good. And strength 4, tough 5, wounding on 5s. Nothing. 3 shots on the heavy bolter. So we didn't stand still, so it's hitting on 4s. Just the 1. And wounding on 4s at strength 5, tough 5. Oop. And it wounds. And it's -1, so the Orcs get a 6-up save still. No. Boom! 1 Orc has his head exploded. You shot my best lad. How dare ya? So, up next, it's on to the Orcs' turn. So, at the end of their movement phase, their Deffkoptas will come in. So, we'll score points and move first. End of the movement phase, and the Deffkoptas have entered the fray. So now it's over to Orc shooting. So I'll start things up with the boys. So all of our sluggers are out of range, but our 3 shooters and the rocket launcher are in range. Not half range, so it's just 2 shots on the shooters. 6 shots then, hitting on 5s. Just the 1. And it's strength 4, tough 4, wounding on 4s, it doesn't. Rocket launcher gets D3 +1. Shots for 3. Hitting on 5s. Just the 1. Wounding on strength 9, so double 2s. It does. And it is -2 to the Space Marine's armor, so 3 up down to a 5 up. He's failed it, and it's a flat 3 damage, so that explodes a Chaos Space Marine. Next we got 2 rocket launchers on the Deffkoptas, so these are blast weapons again. So D3 plus 1 shots each, so we got 4 there, and 3 there. Again, these hits on 5s. This is very orky. Hitting just the once. Strength 9, toughness 4, 2s. With twin linked if I'd failed. Just the one, so -2, 5 up save. Failed, that's going to explode a Chaos Space Marine. Then we got the custom Mega Blaster, which is 3 shots. Hitting on 5s. Nothing. That would have been cool because it's strength 9, -2 and D6 damage each, so ow. And that's it for the Orcs' turn. Deffkoptas could attempt a charge to try and deny those Chaos Space Marines and getting that objective. So let's try it anyway. Needing a 9. No, they don't. They fail. Alright, ready then for Chaos Space Marines. Turn 3. So we scored the maximum 10 again, and now it's on to some Chaos Space Marine shooting. So out of range for pistols there, but our bolt guns are in range. They're going to try gunning down the Orcs. 6 shots this time, we've lost a guy. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s. Just the one. -1 to a 6 up save. Saved. And 3 shots from the heavy bolter. I think these will go... yeah, into the Orcs. Hitting on 3s as we didn't move this time. And wounding on 4s. 2. Nice. -1. Yeah, both through. So 2 more Orcs slain. That is it. No charges in the Chaos Space Marines at the moment. Over to Orcs turn 3. And they only score 5 again for holding 1 objective. And now it's over to movement. So we scored another 5 points as we only had 1 objective. Deffkoptas have moved down. The Orc boys have moved up. They're getting fed up of not having enough objectives and shiny stuff. So now it's on to shooting. This time everything's in range, so only 2 shooters left in the unit. Hitting twice, they're getting better. And wounding once. Normal 3 up save. Saved. Next up we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sluggers. Hitting on 5s, missing twice, wounding on 4s, nothing. D3 rocket launcher shots, 2, no +1 this time as the squad's down below 5. Oop. Both hit this time, 2s, both wound, boom. -2, so 5 up saves on the Chaos Space Marines, and they both fail. This will be a dead Chaos Space Marine each time, because it's 3 damage on the rocket launcher. Bang. Right, D3 shots from each rocket launcher that has rocket launchers. Ooh, 3 there and 2 there for a total of 5. Again, no +1s as the squad's depleted. Hitting on 5s. Can we get better? We can. We've got 2. Wounding on 2s. We can. Again, -2, so 5 up saves. Both made. Nice. Custom Mega Blaster. Hits on 5s. Nothing. Over to charges then. These orcs are going to need a 9. And these are only going to need a 3. Deffkoptas first, I think. Oh, 10. I could have done with that over there. And the boys over there, no, they have failed. No command points for a reroll, sadly, so they're stuck in the open. But they are going to have caused the Chaos Space Marines to suffer some casualties in a battleshock test, which will hopefully deny an objective if they fail. Right then, time for some spinning blades, 6 attacks each. 1, 2, 3. These are just as good as the Von Ryan Sleepers. Hits on 3s. Not bad. And strength 5, tough 4, so wounding on 3s. Wow, pretty good. Only failed to wound 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 wounds. Sadly no minus, but this could cause some damage to the Chaos Space Marines. 3 up saves. That's 1, 2.5 dead Marines. Melter gun on 1 wound. Chaos Space Marines do get the fight back. 3 attacks of the close combat weapon. Hits on 3s, wounds on 5s. Nope. And then 4 attacks on the accursed weapon. Hits on 3s. Does a little better. It's strength 5, toughness 6, so still 5s. But 2 wounds at -2. 4 up save down to the 6 up save. Failed them both. Only a single damage each, so 4 wounds. 1 orc Deffkoptas is down to 2 wounds. And with that, the orcs have got a lot to do to get up to the Chaos Space Marines lead. So, turn 4 for the Chaos Space Marines. As we've got Battle Shock to do first, let's do that on camera. So, squad up here. Oop. A 4 and a 6, they're fine just. A 4 and a 2, even for a 6. This squad down here also needing to pass. Oh, they failed. So they're battle shook, but it doesn't matter because the Chaos Space Marines still control more than the opponent for the maximum 10 again. So 35 to 10 so far, and the orcs, well, they're in for that one at least. Consolidate into a little bit. So the orcs are going to get some points, but I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up as they've only got 1 more turn left to go. So, Chaos Space Marines movement, no movement, onto shooting, single bolt gun, both hit, 5s, nothing, heavy bolter hitting on 3s, everything, wounding on 4s, just a 1, -1, 6 up save. Oop. No, another one bites the dust. And we got a bolt pistol in close combat, hits, wounds, normal save for 4+, saved. And we got a plasma pistol, which we will 2 damage normal, isn't it? No, 2 damage supercharge. So let's supercharge it. Hits on a 3, it does. Wounds on a 3, doesn't. That's fine. No charges, onto combat, so the orcs fight first, as it's the Chaos Space Marines' turn. Hitting on 3s. Oh, not as good as last time. I think they wasted a lot of the fuel in the Deffkoptas. Only 7 have gone through to wound on 3s. 2 missing again. So that is 5 saves on the Chaos Space Marines. This could kill him though. It leaves the champion on 1 wound. And he will fight back with his 4 attacks, hitting twice and not wounding because it's strength 5, toughness 6. With that, it's over to Orcs turn 4. So, well, Orcs are battle lines, so effectively they stickied that objective. So we do hold 2, but we still need to score 5 points for that, which is not more than the opponent. But hopefully we will wipe out something and score at the start of next turn. So 6 for movement. They've moved up. Let's let off some shots. 1, 2, 3 sluggers. No hits. 2 shooters at 3 shots each because it's rapid fire. 1, yep, so 3 shots each this time. Nothing. D3 rocket launcher for 2. Still nothing. They're gearing up. We've got 3 sluggers in combat. Nothing. Charges then. Orc boys in. Now they're in. Whoa! Out my way. 10 can get them. Yeah. All the way to the back. These poses really make it hard to get everybody in. Right then. 1, 2... with choppers, so 3 attacks each, hitting on 3s, only 1 effectively. Strength 4, tough 4, 4s, only the 1 at -1, 4 up save, saved. We've then got 1, 2, 3 close combat weapons at 2 attacks each, hits on 3s, wounds on 4, saves on a 3, 1 failed. 1 wound on our bolt gun guy, which means the Orc's power claw is going to have to overkill that poor 1 wounded guy. So power claw, 3 attacks, hits on a 4. Come on, at least 1. No, nothing. Oh dear. Chaos Space Marines pick a unit. We'll pick the poor aspiring champion before he perishes. He hits with everything. And just the 1 wound. -2, down to a 6 up. Failed, so 1 damage. So 1 Deffkoptas down to 1 wound. Orcs left to choose a unit, so Deffkoptas will fight. Freeze. That's better. They've had a chance to refuel. Oops, bye. And wounding on 3, strength 5. Nine saves on that poor aspiring champion. Let's see if he can survive first 4. He can't. And Deffkoptas will consolidate towards objective. We need to score points. And then we got our Chaos Space Marines over there. 2 with close combat weapons. Hitting on 3s. Strength 4, tough 5, 5s. Ooh, 1. 5 up save. No, we do kill an orc. And with that, it's over to Chaos Space Marines turn 5. They've already passed the battle shock. And they haven't took a casualty last turn, so they don't need to test again. And, oh, that's a point. We no longer control because there's more objective control there than there is us. So we've only got objective control 4 to objective control. He's just out. So 4 to 4 is a tie. So it's going to be again just the 5 for the orcs. Oh, this is a Chaos Space Marines, isn't it? Sorry. Just a 5 for the Chaos Space Marines, but it's still putting them at 40. The orcs. Yeah, orcs aren't going to win this, I'm afraid. So we're going to call the game there. 40 to 15. The orcs will hopefully gain 10 next turn, putting it to 25, but it's still going to be an orc loss. I think I shouldn't have held back. I should have charged forward a bit more at the start. I don't think it helps that the orcs only have a single deployment zone as opposed to the Chaos Space Marines getting 2. So that does act in their favour. Plus there's more units to the Chaos Space Marines. It's 3 units or 2 units. So whether the Orc Boys are meant to be split into a unit of 10, 2 units of 5 even, and it doesn't tell us in the scenario, or perhaps we're meant to take somebody else and it doesn't, again, it's not mentioned in the scenario. But either way, fun game. We got to try out the Deffkoptas at least. And yeah, they can be useful. As you've seen, they do hit occasionally. The amount of attacks is just overwhelming for close combat, 6 attacks each. It makes them just as equal as the Von Rein's Leapers, although they don't have the -1. But yeah, there we have it. We'll call the game there, as it's the Chaos Space Marines have got a way bigger lead for the Orcs to even catch up at this point. So, back to the magazine for our victory, and we'll see what's in our next combat patrols. So, there we go. That was the battle for issue 48. So, let's take a look at our victory speech. So, we had a Chaos victory. The ramshackle orcs are no match for the fortitude and determination of the Chaos Space Marines. They hold their ground under heavy attack until at last the onslaught is over and they remain alone on the battlefield, victorious. Although they'd pretty much earned victory before fights actually broke out, really. Scoring quite early on and a lot of points helped them in their favour. Yeah, there we have it. That was the battle. So what's up in our next combat patrol? So we're finishing off with the Orcs as we bring the Stompy and Killy Death Dread to our force. So issue 49, we build this mechanical monstrosity. We have our latest mission for Combat Patrol games, Display of Might. We learn about Orc anatomy, plus we have a battle record for this guy. Issue 50 then, we have our paint guide for our Death Dread. We've got Orc culture, and we also have the Combat Patrol rules for the Orcs, so we can play a full game of Combat Patrol with them in issue 51. But issue 52, we do have a scenario which is very similar to the Hellbrutes. So it sees the Death Dread on its own, trying to survive wave after wave of enemies. But we do have time for a full game of Combat Patrol, which we probably will play Display of Might, the issue's brand new mission. So we'll try that out with 2 of our forces picked at random. So there we go. Right. There we go. That's it. So flip over. So there we go. Issue 48 and the Deffkoptas are now complete and added to our Orc force. Up next is going to be fun. We've got the Death Dread to look at. So yeah, our final unit for the Orcs Combat Patrol base force. And then after that, we're going to be starting a brand new faction with the Leagues of Votan. I'm looking forward to that, as they're painting a pretty cool colour scheme with a Kronos hegemony. Yeah, black and yellow are going to be very interesting. But that is it, as I said. Hope you'll join me then for the next issue where we start getting stompy. But all left for me to say is thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And we'll see you next time on more Combat Patrol Carnage. Right, lads. Goodbye.